Let me show you what it actually costs to live here in Surrey BC in 2026, because most people moving here calculate only their mortgage payments and think that is the only number. In fact, it is not even close. There are 7 layers to what living in Surrey actually costs. Most people only plan for one. That's where people get into real trouble. So today I'm laying it all out. All the 7 layers, the complete honest cost of living in Surrey BC in 2026. Housing is just one layer, and by the time we get through all 7, you're going to understand something that most people figure out the hard way. And stay with me to the end, because I'm going to show you which Surrey neighborhoods actually give you the best value across all 7 of these cost layers. That part alone is worth the watch. Alright, let's start with what everyone focuses on: housing. In 2026, here's where Surrey sits. A 1-bedroom condo, if you're renting, you're looking at $2,000 to $2,500 a month in rent. 2-bedroom is around $2,700 to $3,200. And if you want a townhouse, they just start around $3,000 per month in rent alone. Now let's talk about buying. If you are buying an entry-level detached home, that's roughly around $1.3 million to $1.6 million in most Surrey markets, right? You're putting 20% down, run that at current interest rates. You're carrying a $6,500 to $7,500 a month in mortgage payments alone. Now here's what I want you to understand. Surrey is still the most affordable entry point in whole Metro Vancouver. Compare that to Vancouver, Burnaby, or even Coquitlam. You are getting significantly more space for the money. The gap is real and it matters. But affordability is relative, and I want you to walk into this with open eyes. So housing is layer 1, and layer 1 is just the beginning. Here's the one that catches people, especially first-time buyers, every single time: property taxes. So if you own a home assessed at $1.4 million in Surrey, you are looking at roughly $4,500 to $6,000 a year in property taxes. That is $375 to $500 a month on top of your mortgage payments. People don't put that in their budget, and then July comes and suddenly there's a bill they forget to plan for. Now strata fees, that is the one that really moved in the last few years. If you're buying a condo or a townhouse, that is where most buyers are starting right now. Strata fees are part of your monthly reality. Condos in Surrey are running $400 to $600 a month in strata fees. And for townhomes, it's pretty much the same. And these fees, they go up every single year. So when you're shopping for the $600,000 condo and you think your payment is only $2,500 a month, please add $450 for strata fees. Also add $300 for property tax. Suddenly you are at $3,300 before you bought a bag of groceries. That's not to scare you, that is to prepare you, because a buyer who prepared makes better decisions. Now let's talk about transportation, and let me be straight with you. Surrey is still largely a car city. Yes, the SkyTrain Expo line runs through Wally. Yes, the Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension is also coming, and when it opens those corridors, it will change the value equation in specific neighborhoods dramatically. But right now, for most of Surrey, you need a car. Here's what that actually costs. ICBC insurance in BC, depending on your driving record, your vehicle, your coverage, you're looking at $2,000 to $3,500 a year. That is $170 to $290 a month just to be insured. You add gas on top of that, add maintenance, add the actual car payment if you're financing. A family with 2 vehicles, transportation alone can cost you $1,200 to $1,800 a month. If you're near a SkyTrain station, your monthly transit pass runs around $120. That's a better option financially, right? But not everyone has that access yet. But that is exactly what I always tell buyers. The neighborhood you pick matters more than just the price of the home. Where you live in Surrey directly affects your spending every single month. If this is already giving you numbers you hadn't seen anywhere else, you're going to want to stick around, because I'm about to get you into the cost that most people are completely blindsided with. Childcare alone can add $2,000 to $3,000 a month to your budget. So just stay with me. Now groceries, everyday expenses, the stuff that just adds up. A family of 4 in Surrey is spending somewhere between $1,200 and $2,000 a month on groceries in 2026. That's regular household shopping at Save On, Real Canadian Superstore, or whatever you got nearby. Add utilities, hydro, gas, internet, phone. You're looking at $400 to $600 a month for the house, less for the condo. And here's the thing about BC Hydro, rates have been climbing. That $200 hydro bill that used to be a winter number, it is a year-round number for a lot of families now. Dining out a few times a month, coffee runs, kids' activities, you are adding another $500 to $800 easy, and that's conservative. I'm not telling you this to say Surrey is unaffordable. I'm telling you this because the people who struggle here are the people who planned for housing and forgot to plan for life. If you have kids or you're planning to, listen very carefully to this one. Childcare in Surrey in 2026, licensed daycare for one child, you're looking at $1,500 to $2,500 a month depending on age, location and availability. 2 kids in the daycare, do the math. You could be spending $3,000 to $4,500 a month on childcare alone before the $10 a day program kicks in. And wait lists for subsidized spots are still long. Now, Surrey doesn't have strong public schools. There are some excellent catchment areas, particularly in Grandview Heights, South Surrey and Fraser Heights. But a lot of families moving here from other cities don't realize that school catchments in Surrey vary dramatically. The school your kids get into is directly tied to your address, and some families pay a premium through private schools to control that outcome. Private schooling in Surrey, budget is $12,000 to $20,000 a year per child. That is real cost, and it is one that reshapes the entire household budget for young families. If you have got kids, you need to run the full number, not just the mortgage. Told you earlier, I'll break down which specific Surrey neighborhoods give you the best cost to lifestyle ratio across all those layers. I'm getting there. One more cost section first, because this one actually surprises people in a good way. Surrey has gotten a lot better as a city to actually live in. That's not spin, it's real. Dining out, you have got great options from Fleetwood to South Surrey to Guildford. A family dinner out, $80 to $150 depending where you go and how many people. Monthly, if you're doing it a couple of times a week, $400 to $700 a month. Recreation and sports. Surrey has recreational centers, soccer fields, hockey rinks, trails. A family recreation membership will be around $800 to $1,200 a year. Kids in competitive sports, hockey, soccer, gymnastics. Budget, $200 to $600 a month per kid depending on the sport and level. And here's what I will say about lifestyle cost. Surrey is generally more livable than it has been 5 years ago. The investment in infrastructure, in transit, in community amenities, it is showing. People moving here from Burnaby or Vancouver are always surprised by what their dollar gets them day to day in terms of quality of life. Now let me flip the frame, because this video isn't meant to talk you out of Surrey. It's meant to talk you into it with the right expectations. Here's the truth. Surrey is still the best entry point into Metro Vancouver real estate. And I say that as someone who's watched the market for over 20 years. The Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension, when those stations open, the neighborhoods around them are going to see appreciation that buyers who got in early will feel in a right way. Fleetwood, Cloverdale, Langley City, these areas are not priced for what they are about to become. The families and investors I've worked with who truly understand the cost of living here, not just housing, but they understand all 7 layers. They make better decisions. They buy in the right neighborhood. They budget correctly. They're not surprised in year 2. And here's something I tell every client. The cost of being unprepared is always higher than the cost of getting the right advice. That's true in life. It's especially true in real estate. So where do you get the best value in Surrey right now? Grandview Heights and South Surrey. Higher entry price, but schools are excellent. Lifestyle costs are lower because everything is nearby and long-term value has been consistent. Fleetwood, this is one I keep coming back again and again. Mid-market pricing, strong community feel, direct SkyTrain access is coming, and townhouse inventory that will pencil out for families. Clayton Heights, newer builds, younger demographics, good schools, and still competitive pricing for detached product. Ocean Park and White Rock, premium lifestyle, older demographics, but for move-up buyers, the cost to quality ratio is excellent. And city center, the highest density, lower entry price, and the area absorbing the most urban investment right now. For investors and first-time condo buyers, this is the zone to watch. Every one of these neighborhoods has a different cost of living profile, and I help clients figure out which one fits their actual budget, not just the housing number, but the full number. And here's the bottom line. The real cost of living in Surrey BC in 2026 for a family of four owning a modest home, you are thinking somewhere between $9,000 and $14,000 a month when you factor all these 7 layers. That number will vary based on your situation, but it is the honest starting point for the conversation. And the people who succeed here, they are not the ones with the biggest down payment. They are the ones who went in prepared. Check out 2 more videos right now. Why so many people regret moving to Surrey. And the second one is, don't move to Surrey BC unless you can handle these 10 negatives. Both are going to give you a complete picture before you make the move. You can reach me out with any questions.